Hello chess lovers, I have a fantastic game for you played by Paul Morphy against Luis Paulsen. The game was played in 1857 in New York. Paulsen started with e4, e5 by Morphy, knight f3, knight c6, knight c3, knight f6. We see the 4 knights game, and now Paulsen goes for bishop b5, transforming the game into a Spanish game. Bishop c5, we see castling by both sides, knight takes e5. The idea is that after knight takes e5, white has this d4 move, forking the knight and the bishop. But after knight takes e5, we see rook e8 by Morphy, knight takes c6, d takes c6, bishop c4, b5, bishop e2, knight takes e4, knight takes e4, rook takes e4, bishop f3, rook e6, and c3, which weakens the light squares and allows Morphy to play queen d3. And now Morphy is not even allowing white to breathe. b4, white is trying to open up some space. Bishop b6, a4, b takes a4, queen takes a4, bishop d7, both protecting the pawn on c6 and also allowing this rook to join the game. And here comes a bad move by Paulsen, rook a2. It was very important to play queen a6 and exchange these queens. But after rook a2, Morphy played rook e8, and now the threat is queen takes f1 and then checkmating on e1. Just a random move. If h3, then queen takes f1 check and then rook e1 checkmate. That's why Paulsen played queen a6, preventing that threat. But it turns out that Morphy has another brilliant threat. Can you find his next move? Ready? He just played queen takes f3, sacrificing the queen. You won't believe, but Paulsen thought over his next move for more than an hour, and detecting no trap accepted the sacrifice, and after 11 more moves he had to resign. Here is what William James Fuller writes about this game. When he made the move referred to, we all thought that he had made a mistake, especially as he had taken so little time for the move. Paulsen, with his usual caution, deliberated long over an hour before he took the queen. He doubtless thought of Virgil's line, Timeo Danaos et dona ferentes. Meanwhile, the rest of us had set up the position, and our joint analysis failed to discover Morphy's subsequent moves. We see g takes f3 in the game, and now rook g6 check, king h1, bishop h3. Now the only safe square for the rook is rook d1. By the way, if a move like rook g1, then simply rook takes g1 check, king takes g1, and white is getting checkmated. That's why we see rook d1, bishop g2 check, king g1, bishop takes f3 check, king f1, bishop g2 check. By the way, Morphy missed a very strong move, rook g2, attacking the pawn on f2. If queen d3, then rook takes f2 check, king g1, rook g2 check, king h1, and rook g1 checkmate. Of course, this is an amazing checkmate. But as I have already mentioned, instead Morphy played bishop g2 check, king g1, bishop h3 check. In this position, Morphy missed another beautiful line to checkmate white king. Bishop e4 check, king f1, bishop f5. Look at this bishop maneuver. Queen e2, bishop h3 check, king e1, and rook g1 checkmate. But we see bishop h3 check by Morphy, king h1. Now comes bishop takes f2. The threat is bishop g2 checkmate. Queen f1, white is forced to give up the queen. Bishop takes f1, rook takes f1, rook e2, rook a1, rook h6, d4, bishop e3, and Paulsen resigned. Well, if bishop takes e3, then rook takes h2 check followed by rook g2 checkmate. Or if rook f2, well, simply rook takes f2, bishop takes e3, rook takes h2 check, and then white is also losing the rook on a1, and this is an easy win for black. What a brilliant combination by Paul Morphy. Your comments and questions, please. And if you liked this amazing game, don't forget to give the thumbs up. Good luck.